Okay, so there's been a dev workshop on some upcoming changes to arbitrations, specifically the arbitration reward tables. Now, normally this would be a really good thing, and it is actually a really good thing because it means that some people who play arbitrations can get excited for some of the upcoming rewards. Great, awesome. But I feel like this is not tackling a more fundamental issue. So, to me, arbitrations has a specific problem, which is the arbitration drones, and more also the sort of difficulty that would constitute an end game thing, an end game piece of gameplay, if that makes any sense, an end game mission. In other games, an end game mission would be something like a raid that involves a lot of moving parts, a lot of communication, and some varying degree of difficulty depending on the raid. For games like Heroes of the Storm, endgame would be trying to get up to a really high level sort of gameplay, for example getting to Master League, Diamond League at least, something like that. That would be sort of the end game idea for games like that. For a game like an adventure game, the end game would be like some sort of final boss. In Avengers Endgame, it is a lot more difficult to defeat Thanos. So, when it comes to arbitrations, generally speaking, the only difficulty in arbitrations would have to be those drones. The arbitration drone, to me, just seems like a sort of hacky band-aid kind of thing, slapped on in some sort of faux difficulty level. There is also the added difficulty of for example, in Interception, if you happen to have even just one of the Interception nodes open and or taken by the enemy, that meter grows really quickly, or if you have all four of them, you can pretty much lose within a matter of seconds. Yes, that's really good, and that should like stay in the Interception missions for arbitrations, but to me, the drones gotta go. The drones are annoying, the drones are just really stupid, and while we're at it, the whole death mechanic was cool on paper, but it's not that good. It's actually, I think everyone can agree the death mechanic that exists right now in arbitrations is not particularly all that interesting. The way it is now is at least heaps better than the way it was before, which was instant death, permanent death. But the way it is right now, I am finding that sometimes when people kill drones, they actually don't get the sort of token that you need in order to resurrect your friends, which does make the whole mechanic a little bit crap. So, what do I propose as a way to make arbitrations a lot more interesting? One of the things that the Simulacrum gives us, but is not readily available in the game, is access to high-level enemies. A big complaint about people who do Simulacrum videos is that, oh wow, you're just demonstrating this weapon against level 155 or level 165, which I believe is the highest at the moment, level 165 enemies. Nobody's going to fight against level 165 enemies. Why do you make a build that is specifically catered to that kind of high-level gameplay when most of us are not even going to bother to deal with past level 100 enemies? The stories do not give us anything past level 100. In order to even achieve level 100, you actually need to stay in a survival mission for around 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, depending on the mission. I'm pretty sure in that video where I stuck around for about 40 minutes, I didn't see a level 100 enemy. I'm not 100%. I don't remember. The point is that arbitrations, being this end game, or to borrow a quote from Goblin Slayer, the veterans battleground. I think what arbitrations should have given us is access to really high level enemies really quickly. Okay, all of the arbitrations are endless missions, as is the nature of the arbitrations. There's no arbitration mobile defense, there's no arbitration rescue, because the whole point is to stay in these arbitrations for as long as possible to get as many rewards as possible, whilst dealing with a plethora of difficult to kill, but only difficult because of that damn drone. Difficult to kill enemy. Okay? So, I think arbitrations should start at level 100. First and foremost. Okay? Arbitrations being a difficult game mode, the enemy should start at level 100, so then veterans would have a... like, this would really be the veterans playground. The veterans battlefield. If you're not confident in fighting level 100 enemies, practice. Practice your aiming, practice your weapons. Figure out if there's something lacking in your builds. Figure out if there's something lacking with your Warframe builds. It's not like level 100 enemies insta-gib every single Warframe. I'm pretty sure with enough skill, even super duper squishy Warframes like Banshee, Titania, Mag, even, although my Mag is not that squishy anymore, but still, generally considered squishy Warframes that are not your standard tanks, not your Inaros, your Chroma, your Rhino, your Oberon, none of those guys. Even squishy Warframes don't necessarily insta-die to level 100 enemies, because they have ways of dealing with those level 100 enemies. You have crowd control that you can use. We can actually start putting a bit more of an emphasis on crowd control. You have support abilities that you can use to make sure that you're either doing enough damage to kill them, although if you're doing an interception mission, you don't necessarily have to kill them, right? Or, you know, there's like other things that can give you some value in level 100 sorties. Or you could just be Saren and just completely wipe them out. That's up to you. It's up to you. But I think arbitrations should start at level 100, first and foremost. And then secondly, I think the level scaling over time, not level scaling as in how much armor does a dude have at level 130 something. No, not that, not armor scaling. I mean actual level scaling over time should be increased so that it's really, really dramatic. Right now, there are people who apparently, regularly, try and stay in a survival mission for 3 hours just to try and fight against level 2000 enemies. I don't have the time to fight against level 2000 enemies because I don't have the time to sit in a survival mission for 3 hours, okay? I think arbitrations it should be the gateway to that absurdly high level kind of play. Each arbitration lasts for an hour before they reset to the next arbitration. So I think within 30 minutes, which I think is plenty long, within 30 minutes or within 40 minutes, I'm open to debate, open to discussion, but within a short-ish period of time, you should start to see level 200 enemies, level 300, 400, 500, the super duper high, absurdist high level enemies, the kinds of enemies that we don't even have access to in the simulacrum, right? Because that is a real veterans playground, I think. At least I welcome the challenge to actually go and fight something that is level 700. I don't know what that would be. I mean, I haven't even done the sort of not high level, but sort of math, the sort of mid-level math to figure out how much effective health a level 700 corrupted heavy gunner would have. I don't even know how much health a corrupted heavy gunner would have. First off, I don't know how much armor they have. I'm very interested in seeing what I can do to bring it down as mag. Because remember, right now, level 135, which is the highest I can do in the simulacrum, that only requires 2 fracturing crushers and 2 polarizers with the build that I have at the moment, the 5000 IQ platinum arrow build. At level 700, would that require 3 fracturing crushers, 4 fracturing crushers, 3 fracturing crushers, and like 3 polarizers? Is that possible? Is that the reason? Is that what I need to do? I don't know. I just don't know. Right? So I want to actually go up against that kind of stuff. And I feel like arbitrations really could have been the gateway to just that absurdly high level enemy. I don't know. I might be like the only person who thinks this, maybe everyone else does not care about the level 200 Corrupted Heavy Gunner, or nobody cares about the level 634 Ancient Healer in an arbitration, or in like anything, because you generally don't come across that in normal gameplay. But arbitrations were meant to be this end game content, and I think definitely one way to make it at least feel like endgame content, because it doesn't feel like endgame content once you get rid of that drone, because then it's just sortie. It's really just sortie level content. One way to get that endgame content to actually feel like endgame content would be to just start at a really high level, 100 plus, and then just ramp it up to like stupid levels. I just think that I just think that level of what's the word, challenge would be rather fun. That's just me. I could be wrong. Anyway, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. I am open to all sorts of other ideas to make arbitration gameplay fun. Arbitration rewards should continue to be iterated on, with more stuff coming in, some stuff taken out, stuff put into the shop instead of being put into the reward tables. All of that is really, really good. But when it comes to the gameplay, I really think it should be more difficult, but not annoying. Again, those drones don't make the content difficult, they just make the content annoying, because when you try to shoot the drone, and that drone is flying around, you can't shoot anything else, and those things are shooting at you. That drone has to go. I think the drone is a mistake. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more Warframe content, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye!